Hello, and welcome back to another video on daily weather charts. These videos diagnose the current weather pattern and discuss how it will play out for the upcoming day. Today's charts are valid for June 10th, 2023, and before we go into the video, the Storm Prediction Center has outlined a severe weather risk starting tonight for the Central Plains from Garden City, Kansas, down into northwest Oklahoma, with a slight risk, primarily for damaging winds, as a cluster of thunderstorms is going to be tracking south through the Central Plains this evening. And a severe weather threat is going to continue into tomorrow. And I posted a social media post about the threat for this weekend. And there is an enhanced risk outlined from Central Texas all the way to Shreveport, Louisiana, with a slight risk surrounding that, all the way to the Mississippi River, essentially. And then we go into Sunday. The risk extends further east for parts of the lower Mississippi, Tennessee, and parts of the Ohio valleys, all the way from northern Arkansas through northwest Alabama and into western Tennessee and Kentucky. I posted some of these graphics on social media earlier today, and I'll have a forecast video specifically for Sunday's threat because the threat area is closer to the domain for this channel, so be on the lookout for that. And so if you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe, and we'll get started. So we're going to start with the upper level water vapor imagery like we normally do. And this shows an active evening across the central US. You'll see with the higher moisture content for the central and southern plains. And this is a result from an ongoing cluster of thunderstorms that are tracking through the central United States. The upper level low that has been persistent over the northeastern US is slowly starting to meander towards the east. And that is going to cause the air quality in parts of the northeastern United States to gradually improve, and that's going to continue through the weekend. Radar overnight tonight showing this cluster of thunderstorms that has developed in Kansas, and that's going to be tracking to the south or south-southeast through tonight. And it's going to be tracking through Oklahoma through the overnight hours. So now looking at 300 millibars at our upper air maps for today. We don't have any significant jet streaks in the central United States, but we do have, in the continental United States, but we do have some enhanced flow as a result from this jet streak over northern Mexico, and that goes through southern Texas. This jet streak is going to be playing a role in the Saturday's severe weather threat. We'll take a look into that, the surrounding environment, in just a moment. The remnant upper level low that I talked about a little bit earlier this week, centered over here in the western interior of the United States, and that is causing the wind vectors to split across the central United States, where you have winds going up from the southeast over here, and winds going out of the northwest over here. And so this splitting of the wind vector is creating upper level divergence. And mass continuity would tell us that we have significant rising motion as a result from that, which is helping to develop this round of storms across Kansas. And so looking at 500 millibars, we have a subtle shortwave that is over the Four Corners region. I'll outline that here for you, with some enhanced flow coming out of the base of that shortwave. This is going to help cause the severe weather risk for Saturday in Texas. Looking below at 700 millibars, there is a very subtle but amplifying shortwave east of Colorado, or eastern Colorado and western Kansas. And so that's also helping to enhance the uplift for storms tonight. And then looking at 850 millibars, we do have some broad cyclonic flow across the central United States, but environmental winds are relatively weak. So this is a sign, however, that we're going to get a more organized storm system here to develop, and that's going to help begin this more active stretch of severe thunderstorms that we're going to see starting tonight, and then it's going to go through next week. So looking at the surface map for tonight, or for today, this shows a stalled frontal boundary across the central United States, And this is going to lift back to the northeast as a warm front. And this will bring back the maritime tropical air mass to the southeastern United States this weekend. A dry line is set up across West Texas today, and that's going to help serve as the impetus for severe weather tomorrow in Texas. And then higher moisture content is starting to show up in South Texas and Louisiana with 70-degree dew points. And we're going to look at some soundings to help show the source regions for some of these air masses. So we're going to look at a couple soundings from Friday evening, and we're going to look at Brownsville, Texas first. And this is on the southern tip of Texas, which is closest to the maritime tropical air mass. And so we're looking at moisture on the lower levels of the atmosphere. And so on the surface, we have a dew point of 76 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a pretty high dew point, even for mid-June. But that moisture does not extend all that high up in the atmosphere. You see a lot of spreading apart in your temperature and dew point temperature lines. So there's a lot of dry air in the atmosphere in our source region. So what that's going to do is all that dry air is going to get sucked up into your storm. And so that's going to enhance your downdrafts in your thunderstorm. So some of these storms are going to cluster up pretty quickly that develop if this dry air continues to be the case across Texas. And so we're not expecting a lot of tornadoes in your storms for tomorrow. Damaging winds and large hail is going to be the predominant threat for Saturday. And so next we're going to look at El Paso. And so this is looking for the continental tropical air mass that is over the desert southwest as a result from strong surface heating over in this region. And this is making for a hot, dry air mass that's going to be transported on top of the moist layer that's coming up from South Texas. This is going to create what we call an elevated mixed layer, or EML for short. And what this is going to do is going to keep the environment capped, meaning it's not going to allow thunderstorms to develop and allowing instability to build until the storms are ready to develop and until stronger forcing arrives. And so that's going to cover it for this video. And then for Sunday's severe weather threat, I'm going to have a forecast video posted specifically talking about that, since it's going to be over the southeastern US, which is the domain for this channel. And so that's going to cover it for today. Be on the lookout for the forecast video for Sunday, and I'll see you next time.